Yo, Flexcast, we are back with our next guest, man, and y'all know the drill by now. We talk to movers, shakers, and tastemakers, and these two brothers that I have with me today fit that at every description. I want them to please introduce themselves and tell the world what you do, please.
Yeah, man, big up Flex. My name's Jamie Dread, also known as Rash Jamming. I'm a DJ, event curator, producer, and alongside English Dom, I run a company called All the Vibes Entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah, like the Dread just said, English Dom, DJ, podcaster, event curator, hailing from East London specifically, man.
Okay, let's clap it up for the brothers.
I'm not happy for East London. For the brothers,
No, but that's a great segue because we were joking a little bit off camera. I wanted to talk about where you guys, I know Jamie's been here before, but this is the first time for Dom. I want you to talk about where you're from and how it compares and contrasts, because you guys obviously do business together, so you get along. But talk about, like, you know, your roots and how those places are maybe the same or different.
Okay, so I'm from a city called Wolverhampton, which is in the Midlands, probably the greatest city ever created in the UK.
Said no one ever.
But I'm saying it for the first time, if that. But yeah, I'm from literally a place called the West Midlands, and it's, as you might imagine, the middle of the land, the West Midlands. So we're about 150 miles away from where Dom is in
East London.
East London, okay.
Specifically. So anyone who's watching this that's ever been to London, it's very different depending on what part you're in. So there's north, there's east, there's south, and there's west.
What's the East like?
The east is like, well, it's the home of a genre called grime. If you're familiar with hip hop music from the UK, it's the home of grime. And yeah, I think it's kind of gritty.
It's gritty. It's the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, all parts of London and pockets have gritty parts, but I think we're uniquely different in that it's very mixed kind of culturally. You know, we have kind of Asian, South Asian, so that's India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh communities, white communities, black communities that all kind of congregate in a way that I think is a little bit different to some of the other parts of London.
Okay, understood. So very culturally diverse. How about where you're from? Is it the same or is it a little bit different?
It's funny he says that, because I will definitely say Wolverhampton and the wider Midlands, Birmingham, Derby, Leicester, Coventry is actually quite similar in that sense, like where we do have a heavy white European community, a heavy Jamaican community, lots of different groups of African nationalities, lots of different Pakistanis and Southeast Asians. So it's definitely actually quite similar in that sense to East London. That's definitely one of the similarities. But again, like he says, in other parts of London, it's not like that at all. Yeah.
Let me ask y'all, which place is it harder to make it as a DJ? When you finally decide that you want to be, and I'm going to let you each individually answer. When you finally decide, because we all have different points in our path where we decide to take it seriously, right? So when you decide that, okay, you're in East London, you're in Wolverhampton, which area is harder to make it as a DJ in, would you guys say?
That's a great question, because that's not what I thought you was asking initially.
Yeah, it didn't pop in my head. I'm just curious about
it. I'm gonna say London is probably easier, only because
easier to make it.
Okay. Even though there's more competition, there's probably more access to bigger platforms.
Okay.
So getting your name and your awareness out there might be a little bit easier. But at the same time, the internet kind of levels the playing fields, where if you're good and you put it online, then anyone can see it, so anyone can kind of blow. But London's people move to London regularly from other parts of the UK in the same way you migrate to New York or Hollywood to try and find success. So
that's like the hub of where success is.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even in Europe, not even just the UK, in Europe.
Understood.
People move to London for opportunities, for business, for entertainment.
Okay.
But it's funny you say about like making it. I think I agree with you, there's more opportunity, but the bar for what making it is in London is higher than it is in Wolverhampton.
Okay. Understood. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's harder. It's harder.
You know what I
There's
mean?
more competition.
Like, you want to DJ at somebody's new venues like drum sheds. Like not just any person can go there and set up an event there and DJ. So I guess it depends.
It kind of feels like that's how they protect their culture in a way. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm shooting here. I've never been. Is it inclusive to everyone that comes and visits, or is it kind of like this is ours, respected? What's the vibe like?
London's not inclusive.
Okay. I've never been.
London's like New York if you've ever been.
So they're like the New Yorkers of Europe, or of over there.
I'm here to hustle. I don't look on high. I don't say good morning to no one.
Okay.
It's not like the south of the US.
If you're not from London, you're from up north. Like it doesn't count. You're from country better. Yeah, it doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I actually thought you was gonna ask us, was it easier here to make it as a DJ in Austin or than in the UK? And
I have a question that's kind of like that. It's a good segue. So at some point you guys make the trip. Oh, because I know you do, but do you also have you relocated over here?
Yeah.
Okay, so at some point you guys make the decision to say, hey, this is best for what I want to do to go there. Talk about that moment and why you guys make those decisions each.
You go first.
I mean, I think, if I remember correctly, I covered it a bit on the podcast, and it's a word that you used earlier, opportunity. To me, there was definitely a lot more opportunity here to do things and to grow. And again, I saw a lot of things that I saw in the UK that just weren't here, and I felt as if I could basically contribute something to the community and bring something different. So again, I just literally saw a lot of opportunity, and I thought, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, for me it was a little bit different. So I used to live in the US. I went to college here.
Word.
So I played football or soccer.
Word. So soccer. Okay. Gotcha.
Football.
I was about to ask you. If you were a quarterback.
No, football. It's the sport you play with your feet.
Yes, you are correct. No, I'm one of the Americans that agrees with you guys. You guys are correct. That's football. What we do is something different.
American football.
Yeah, American football.
But no, I played that in college for 4 years here in West Virginia.
Okay, wow.
Which is an interesting experience. And I moved to DC. Then I moved back to London for a couple of years, and then I got the opportunity to move to Austin through work. And then it's a funny story. I actually met Jam here in my first week living in Austin, and then we just been locked in.
He's not hard to find.
Yeah.
He got all the vibes.
Yeah, no pun intended. Facts. So yeah, that's how I ended up here.
Okay, understood. Now we get to the point where you guys get here, and we're going to talk about some events that you have coming up. But in the notes here when I was looking at it, you said you've had a phenomenal year. I want you to breathe just a little bit on what that means, because progress for everybody looks different. We're here at WeFlexPN, and we're all about flex and growth and progress. That's we want to see what do you like when you go from A to B to C and so forth. What does a phenomenal year mean for Jamie? Like, what has that been like? What specifically has happened that you've accomplished that you're extremely proud of?
This is gonna sound so corny, but
not at all.
So many things that I could only have dreamed of have happened in the past year.
Okay.
And as we spoke about in the past, I've been doing South by Southwest shows for the past 6-7 years now, so we've done many, but it just amazes me how it continues to grow and get bigger and better each and every time. So the South by Southwest show for 2024 was amazing, but that really just kind of led into a year where we did, I think, looking at the recaps for last year, we gave away almost 18,000 tickets.
Hey, let's clap it up for that, man. That's showing love. We
sold over 7,500 tickets additional to that in terms of actual ticketing. So
that's why they keep booking.
It's crazy. And to be fair,
y'all got them numbers, man.
That's probably an underestimate, because that's again just based on our events and not even including some of the events that we collaborated on. So it went way beyond my expectations. And then in terms of actually some of the events we did, we booked DJ MoMA from Everyday People, we booked Walsh Fire from Major Lazer. Personal achievements, like I got booked in the Caribbean 3 times last year.
What was that like?
Insane.
What was that like?
I was booked in Jamaica, that was dope. Did a dope pool party in Portmore, big up Kim and all the Portmore crew.
Okay.
That was in Jamaica, so again, being back in the land where my descendants come from,
it doesn't
and being DJing, it was amazing. I was blessed to be booked at the only Caribbean Soho House in Canyon, sent me to Grenadines in June for a festival. One fest, and that went amazing. Big up the whole of my Canyon, massive. Big up yourself, Chad, big up yourself, Batty, big up all the family, you don't know. And again, they enjoyed what we did so much that they actually brought me back for New Year's Eve. So I just spent New Year's Eve in 17 Grenadines. It's beautiful, man, beautiful.
You are using that turntable to get you across the world, man.
And again, beyond my wildest dreams, my dad was a DJ, so to be even walking in the same kind of steps as he was and being able to take me to the world it's mind blowing to me. And I am again, because I'm gonna sound free and corny or whatever, but a big part of that success is due to this guy here. He came on board a couple of years ago now, a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. And I've continued to see the growth of all the vibes, and he's definitely been a big part of that.
And you're talking, when you say came aboard, you're talking about as a DJ, correct?
As a DJ, but also as a director of operations as well.
Okay, so you're a mind as well. We need those, and every operation needs the minds. Yes, absolutely. Talk about what the last year has been like for you a little bit.
I think he's being extremely humble. You're saying that success is due to me. I think, 2 hands up, like 2 people is always better than one, right? And you need a team.
Washes the other.
Yeah, you need a team to function. So, of course, it was good to just have me on board. But I think a lot of my role is just to put a mirror up in front of him and show him who he is.
Okay.
Right? Because sometimes he forgets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, sometimes he forgets who he is, and sometimes he forgets what he's been able to achieve, right? So some of the achievements that he's just reeled off had nothing to do with any of the things that he's just named. Like,
Right.
yeah, the operations, the day of, and making sure it goes smoothly, but all of the people that you just see him names, all the opportunities they've got is based off him being a great individual and a good DJ. And so I'm just there to facilitate and make sure, and every now and again tell him and make sure that he remembers who he is.
Absolutely.
That's it.
And do you think, I mean, you mentioned a lot of places and names that require organization to get there, so never undervalue that role.
No,
man.
no, of
that,
course.
that organizational role is important. I've
100%.
been in spaces where I've seen DJs that a team would take them to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
A partner would take them to the next level. And so I think that he's recognized that in you, and that's awesome that you're here to contribute to that. I want to talk about the event you have coming up, man. I think it's very, very special. It's very important. It's a collaboration of two very brilliant brands. Go ahead and talk about it, please, man. We want to promote it. We want to throw the ticket link out. We want to do all that.
Well, Steph, so before I talk specifically about that, shameless plug. Because again, hopefully this podcast lives forever. People watch this after the particular event we're gonna get to in a second. But we do monthly Caribbean event called Shubs, a monthly event called Groove. So again, if you've missed the event I'm about to talk about, lock in and come to one of those, because those have been two brands that we've been working on for the past year or so and have been growing tremendously. However, the event you need to look out for is this Sunday, the 19th of January. Yes, it's MLK Day weekend.
Yeah.
And we have come together with the other biggest promoter in the city for our culture, Remix International.
Shout out Remix International.
To present an event called Black Out Loud.
Wow.
Celebration of blackness of all forms, whether you're from the Caribbean, whether you're FBA, whether you're African, whether you're English, whether you're Hispanic. This is a celebration of all black culture, and let me be also clear, everybody is welcome, but again, we want to celebrate us, and that's what we've chosen to do. So yeah,
this actually, and it being close to the MLK holiday, we know what American civil rights leaders, we know about their lives here in the United States. I am curious, how do you guys learn? Do you guys learn about them once you get here, or are they taught in other countries as well? Like, did you know about Martin Luther King growing up?
Of course.
Okay, so the that's something that you guys are taught, and it's,
Yeah, so we learn about like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X.
Okay, understood.
And Fred Hampton and these kind of black civil rights leaders. Maybe not in as much depth as you will, because